Hello, my dear students. Welcome to the class of business communication. Today, we are going to learn the types of communication. But before that, let us understand what is the purpose of business communication. The purpose of all business communication is to further corporate objectives of the company or the organization. Time at workplace is generally too short and valuable to waste on communication which do not achieve the goal. Communication in general. Basically, the word communication refers to the exchange of information and ideas between two individuals or business organizations about their needs, aspirations, or perceptions in words, action, or symbols, provided the content must mean the same for the receiver and sender. Communication can be of a local or international flavor, in spoken or alternative modes, and depend on conformist or unconventional signals in non-linguistics or linguistic forms. History of communication. Centuries ago, a phonetic alphabet form of communication existed among the ancient Greeks, followed by several books based on the principle of written communication. This was the cornerstone of the first library of the Greeks. Similarly, communication became a hassle in the old communist China, not only within the various branches of the exhaustive government but also in the interaction between the Chinese people and the government, consequent to which China launched its postal services. However, after the advent of the printing press and paper, communication became much simpler. The principle of communication today still follows a blend of the age-old traditions of written and oral forms. What is business communication? Business communication. In business, communication is a channel that helps in promoting a service, product, or the organization. With the sole intention of closing a sale, businesses uses a variety of media for communication, including radio, outdoor ads, television, the print, the internet, and even the spoken word by word of mouth. Advanced communication skills have achieved an exalted status in business ethics and interpersonal skills, and employees and managers in every organization hone their communication skills for a better mutual understanding and engagement, not only for internal purpose but also for stakeholders outside as well. Provincially, the business environment offers a variety of communication modes for the senders and receivers of messages to satisfy their communication needs. What is a business organization? An organization represents a people's group who share similar interests and goals. A bank would be an excellent example for this arrangement. You could also refer to it as a pact in society between individuals or groups that found activities and relationships on a social, religious, political, or commercial platform. There are two types of business communication in an organization which come under vertical communication: internal communication and external communication. Internal communication. All communication that has to do with internal matters and interaction between staff and employees in varied forms is called internal communication, and it serves as an excellent medium to address all concerns of employees, thereby enhancing goodwill, job satisfaction, productivity, and safety aspects. It also serves to increase turnover and profits. Under internal communication, you have upward communication. This represents the information flow from lower down in the hierarchy to those in higher positions, thus preventing the organization to experience a vacuum in terms of not only the proper receipt of information but also solutions to other problems that the company may face. Undoubtedly, communication is a two-sided sword, but for it to work efficiently, information must originate at the bottom and move upward. The benefits of upward communication to the staff include the exchange of ideas and information, heightened staff enthusiasm, job satisfaction, and the province of feedback. Downward communication. The flow of information and instructions from the top levels of the organization to its lowest level, detailing the mission and policies, is normally referred to as downward communication. This may be in the form of specific instruction or guidelines to complete a full project. However, you must start establishing the procedure only after the upward communication has been successfully instituted. This information flow can be used to pass on important matters and instructions, announce decisions and promote mutual discussions, cooperations and morally, enhance efficiency and obtain feedback. Horizontal and lateral communication. When people with the same rank in the organization communicate with each other and collaborate in the search of a common goal, it is called horizontal communication. Assigned work is best completed when employees at the same level cooperate. This kind of communication helps solve problems by enhancing teamwork, boosting efficiency, completing tasks, and building goodwill. Now, let's go to external communication. External communication refers to a communication by company supervisors with agency outside the company. For example, with customers and vendors. The kind of communication and useful interaction can lead to operational efficiency, market credibility, goodwill, corporate image, customer satisfaction, organizational goals leading to performance, increased sales volumes followed by strong profit showing. Most of this external work is done by marketing department, who targets market in pursuit of a large scale of business, and the purchase executive, who are always sourcing better quality inputs at lower prices. There are some other features of communications like face-to-face communication. Still the oldest but the most effective mode of communication is the face-to-face type that requires the physical presence of both parties involved, removing any vestiges of ambiguity and making absolutely 100% certain that matters have been mutually understood. Once this is achieved, further discussions can be held at any time without inhibitions. You can also make your pitch in a manner that will directly convey your feelings, passion, and commitments to an individual or at a group meeting. Most experts opine that this is the best form indeed to make an impression, the vital point pertaining to your company and your audience. Phones. The phone is more personal form of communication than the email and can add a personal touch to messages of complex nature that need the clarity of a phone call to explain some inaccuracy involved that cannot be put into a message. Its great advantage is that you can reach people with clarity all around the globe when you want to confirm your associates' accurate understanding of your message. Verbal. Verbal communication includes direct face-to-face meetings, video conferencing, and telephoning, and may well be an excellent communication mode by reading the interference you make out of non-verbal or verbal responses of a message. Additionally, it puts the message receivers at ease to pose questions to the sender and obtain his feedback, thus saving on response time and decision making. Of course, with the increased use of verbal communication, you can see problems like language, social and cultural barriers, and time differences in the different eco zones cropping up often. You have to overcome these hassles to make a meaningful and useful communication so that there is less confusion and complexity. Written form of communication. Several forms of communication, including formal letter, posters, business memos, bulletin boards, and other diverse forms of communication form part of the written form of communication. This is a good choice for those wanting to convey the same message in written to several people at different locations. They can send also technical messages with images and charts to make it easy for the recipients to analyze and comprehend. Another advantage of a written message is its paper trail that necessitates the recipient to receive and acknowledge it. Such messages are also created for the purpose of a record of corrections or for legal purposes. So that's all for today. I hope that you have understood, and we shall continue in the next class if you haven't understood it.